Okay, so we're going to start Achaz Purim. Mirz Hashem, we'll probably do this in two parts. We'll do 19 minutes tonight, and then another 19 minutes next week. And hopefully, B'siyata D'Shemaya, we'll get through everything. A disclaimer, if anyone doesn't have a copy, please let me know. I would love to share one with you if you'll look at it. You don't have to, we don't do like tonight kuffle that you have to read the whole thing backwards and forwards every day for the next 6 months. But if you don't have a copy, I will happily share. And if I had more here, I would give you them. I don't have. Right, exactly. You know, in yeshiva, they sign up like, take this sefer for free if you makabel b'li neder all tonight. By the time you finish reading the whole thing, like, forget about it. I know. Yeah. I'll just give you your $10 and I don't have to. Okay, but let's go. We're going to start with Adar. We're going to start with Adar. We're in the middle of Adar. We've been in the middle of Adar for a while, but now we're in Adar l'chol hashitas l'chol deyos. Is there anything we know? Mishnichlas Adar marbim besimcha. Marbim besimcha. First of all, just interesting. Rashi and Tainus learns Mishnichlas Adar was why? Because it's the days of Nisim, says Rashi, Purim and Pesach. Very interesting, because we know Mishnichlas Adar Marbim, so most people assume, and as we'll see in a moment, this ends at Purim. Rashi is clearly of the opinion that this goes all the way through Pesach, all the way through Pesach. What is the practical ramification? So it's famous, the Magen Avram teaches if someone has a court case, it's an appropriate time because we have a good mazel Adar. We have a good mazel in Adar. So they asked Rav Chai Kanievsky, you know, if you were to find, I think many, if you ever tried, like, Mishtichlas Adar, probably open up a Mishtabura, Shulchan Aruch, Hilchos Purim, you'll find it right away, and you're quite shocked that you don't find it anywhere. There's no, it's not mentioned in all of Shulchan Aruch. There's a Mishnah Berurah in one place that quotes the line, but it's not mentioned in Shulchan Aruch. So he said to Rav Chaim Kanievsky, I don't understand. Why is it not mentioned? He says it's not a chiyuv, it's a hanhaga toiva. It's a hanhaga toiva, mishenichnas adar, to be marbe b'simcha. But the question is, how are you marbe b'simcha? We know, I think it's known that the Gaon famously on, in there are more sources if you're looking. No, it's all hot. The Gaon famously on Sukkot says, you know, Sukkot is a very difficult yontif, because you got to be happy for 8 days straight. 8 days straight. The question is, Baruch Hashem, we're broadcasting from the airplane. The question is, how are you happy for a whole month? So what do you do? So very interesting, and I got into shikl trouble. I said in Koil yesterday, I said after Mincha, you know, middle of Adar, and there are those that have a minhag to have a glass of wine every day the month of Adar. And I said, the Chazon Ish, and I'll quote you the words, Kilas Yaakov in Shena Halachas writes, Umaran, I go to Yisrael Yaakov Kanievsky, Hayanoig Lishtos Yain B'Chodesh Hadar. V'chein Amarli Maran, I go to Rechaim Kanievsky. I don't think Rechaim and the Stipler were these, you know, alcoholics looking for excuses to drink wine. Yet the month of Adar, they drink wine. Soraya Devlitsky, the elderly Yerushalmi Gaon. Bnei Brak. No, Yushalayim. Either way, Gaon Hagadol, you know, it doesn't make a difference. What do you do? What would you noig lishtas yain kol yaim? So I said this after Mincha, and the chaver came in they do an early plag ma'ariv, and someone saw a cork opener, a corkscrew on the table, and the guy turns to me and says, Rabbi, are you serious? The boys are sitting here drinking wine. He got a little bit upset. I said, I don't know, listen, it's a nice thing to do. The Stipler, what are you talking about? Wasn't so happy. But either way, that's what the Stipler did. But when they asked Rav Chaim, you know, what's Lamaisa? What does Rav Chaim answer? Every question you ask Rav Chaim, what do you do? He says, learn Torah. How you marba b'simcha? You learn Torah. So the joke is, they said to Rav Chaim, and what about being memayit in simcha nafs? What, you learn less Torah? He said, no. You always learn more Torah. Learn Hilchos Aveils. Okay, that's Rav Chaim. And Rishon Zalman says, you know, you do, don't be sad. Don't be sad. So all the sad and depressed people amongst us, now's the time to find therapists. Now's the time to find or a good bottle of wine, or both. And that is Adar. That's Adar. Let's continue into Tainus Esther. Now, Tainus Esther is a fascinating thing. Tainus Esther is different than all other Tainesim. Why is Tainus Esther different than all other Tainesim? It's because it's not a day that is commemorating anything terrible. And it's not a day that's a sad day. Why do we have Tainus Esther? So Shlomo Zalman quotes a Rambam, and I'll tell you a story why this Rambam is so dear to me. Rav Moshe Brown made a siyum on Yerushalmi many moons ago, about 12 years ago. And he made a grand gala party. I'm going to repeat it. Did I ever tell the story here? Never told the story here? Okay. He made a whole crazy party. I was in Eretz Yisrael at the time. And he got up to speak. And he said, many people are wondering why I'm making this whole party. So what do we all answer? Because you finished Yerushalmi. If we finish a page of Yerushalmi, we'd make a party. But if you know, when he was learning through Yerushalmi at every Seder, he made a little party Friday night in his house. He invited the Bachram over. What would he serve? Yerushalmi kugel, obviously, and he make the same bad joke every single. You know why we're serving Yerushalmi kugel? Yeah, mamish, the same thing. A small nothing seam, and now he finishes all Yerushalmi. A grand blowout party. He invited Shmuel Kamenetsky, learned him Philly down, and so he got up to speak, and he said, "Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?" He said, "I'll tell you why I'm doing this." He said he has a child that had numerous children that were nifter, Rahman al-Islan. Some at birth, some at older, some a year, 2, 3 years, a bunch of children. So he said the woman, the family got together to daven. He said, I don't know how to daven. Parenthetically, we should all not know how to daven as he knows how to daven. But okay, I don't know how to daven. Say, you know what I did? I made a deal with the Rabbeinu Shalom. You give me a healthy anikel, I'll give you Yerushalmi. That's what he said. He then continued to say, and I said this in Shabbos, Sheva Yipol Tzadik V'Kam. Many times I tried Yerushalmi and I wasn't able to. I tried brachas, I tried psachim, I tried Shabbos, I wasn't able to. But this time, I persevered, and there's a little rascal running around as a testament that Hashem listens to your tefillos. He says, the Rambam in Hilchos Tainis, and he quoted this Rambam. There are some Zalman quotes, and Mishnah Berurah quotes over here in Tafresh Pei Vav. And what does the Rambam say? Why do we have Tainis Esther? To remember that what? That Hashem listens to our tefillos. So Tainis Esther is not a sad day, but it's a day of tefillah. So we have to sort of reorient ourselves, because I think sometimes, unfortunately, the Tainesim, the fast days are lost, and we just get so burnt out that we're fasting that like it's the worst davening day of our life, and we're just grumpy and bitter the whole day, and now we have to prepare for Purim, so it just compounds matters. Realize Tainis Esther is a day of tefillah. So before we get to the practical ramifications, what that means is, people say the Esther HaMalka's Kapitel Tehillim, which is a beautiful thing. Realize that's the whole point of the day. Everything else, the fasting is almost secondary. The point is to be able to dive in and to fast and turn to Hashem in tefillah, to remember that Hashem listened to Esther HaMalka. What's sad? No, it was the happiest day in the world. Hashem listened to her tefillahs.
Right, but I'm not sad for her.
I hear. We feel bad she had to be put in such a predicament. But the day Ba'etzim is commemorating the tefillah and commemorating that she was listened. Yeah. The truth is, as Rav David said, I would have thought maybe afoch. I would have thought maybe that should be the day we should have a party, and then afterwards we should be fasting. The Kaiso went to the Sudas Achashverosh, and it's mamish the other way. But with that understanding, the halachas change. What changes? On most Tainesim, when one asks, can I shower, can I get a haircut, can I listen to music? Usually the answer is, it's not ulcer, but it's not the right thing to do. It's a fast day, it's a sad day, we're mourning. We know we have the Dalet Tainesim that we're in the middle of, which culminate with Tisha B'Av. We're mourning the Churban Beis HaMikdash. It's not the right thing to do. But this fast day is the opposite, and based on this, say the Paiskim, showers is mutter, and haircuts is mutter, and music is mutter, etc. L'maiser Rav Elyashiv does say that you can't lose whatever the word is of the fact that L'maisa, it's a fast day. So L'maisa says Rav Elyashiv, it's a nice thing to refrain at some level from, it's not a joyous day. Sometimes, it's almost Purim, but that's L'maisa Tainis Esther, a little bit of a reorientation. Now with that, one wants to know, could he brush his teeth and could he use mouthwash? The answer is obviously yes. And most fast days, the answer is yes. Certainly in Tainis Esther, it's a very mekeldik fast. Pregnant woman, a nursing woman, really any level of chayla, you don't have to fast. You don't have a chayla. Really, if you have a bad headache that you're not functioning, you don't have to fast. A little maisa, just because, we're still weak and, we're not so quick to jump on the not fasting bandwagon. For the women, we're much more forgiving. But obviously, every woman has kashayla. But in general, any nursing and pregnant woman is, we're making that they don't fast. Men should fast.
The kind of choli that comes dafka because of fast. It's sort of like, that's what the fat's supposed to do.
It's true. So it's true. So at some level, but when it's the next level, you're supposed to have a headache. The way the place can say it, but when you have the headache that you're debilitated, that's not supposed to do that. if it feels like Yom Kippur, you can't function at that level. But obviously, the real answer is also before you break your fast, what do? You take a Advil with a dot of water, and which is allowed. Another thing to mention. A little bit of water with an Advil, a Tylenol, or whatever you need is allowed. And usually that helps the story also. So don't go break your fast before you could circumvent it. That's really Tainis Esther. That's Tainis Esther. Now, while in the fact of Tainis Esther, this year is a little bit of a shayla with Machzas HaShekel. Machzas HaShekel. Well, the truth is, before we get to Machzas HaShekel, we skipped one thing. And what we skipped was Parshas Zachor. Well, we didn't really skip it because this year it's going to be whatever. But Parshas Zachor. So Parshas Zachor is it's an interesting thing how in America it's become a very accepted thing that women go hear Parshas Zachor. You ask the average Americanish woman, when do you go to shul? It's Yom Kippur. It's Shofar. It's Megillah. Although Megillah, they say, no, I go here by a house. Okay, maybe we'll make a comment on that in a moment. And what's the last one? Parsha Zachor. Fascinating is Ramosha Feinstein writes that there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Ramosha, amongst others, of course. But Ramosha basically holds that if you can't go to shul, open a chumash and read those few psukim. Lamaisa, or if you're going to be in shul anyways on Purim day, which often they are, if they go to shul, listen to the laning on Purim day, which is a similar laning. He's Parsha Malik, and you can be Yaitse Zachor then also. So there's really three ways of fulfilling the mitzvah. And this is important. Whether we'll have a separate laning or not has yet to be decided. Last year we didn't change the clocks. And let me just explain to you what the shayla is. What's the shayla? Shayla is you're not allowed to just. This is like something also for some reason here in America we've lost this. You can't just take out a Sefer Torah. Sefer Torah is not like a chumash. Like, you take it out, you lay. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to take out a Sefer Torah. So the question here is, if you don't have any reason to take out the Torah, why do you have no reason? Because everyone heard laning already. So why are you taking out the Torah for the woman? Well, we just said they might not have a chiv. It's a big shayla. So who says you're allowed to take out the Torah for them? So much so, what many shuls do, and this is the right way to do it, is they send, that's one way, or they send out a minion of people, or at least 6 people. No, many of women doesn't help. Because it's a suffix if they have a chiyuv. So they do is they send out men. Now, when in Eretz Yisrael, in my shul, what we used to do is they would ask 6 or 10 men to stand out. I think they were makbid on 10. They would go out. They would not hear it. Then after davening, when they had their laning for women, those men would come in. So now, we have a chiyuv. You're allowed to take out the Torah. And that's the right thing to do. The other thing is do by mincha. Last year, we didn't change the clocks. So we were able to have a mincha at about 12:30 Shabbos day. So what we did we did Asher V'Altziyah, and we took out the Torah. We laned Parsha Zachor, and then we laned Kriyas Torah for mincha, and then we daven mincha, and then that's also lechatchila. But the question is, what about taking it out just for a woman's laning? Lemaisa, it's not the right thing to do. Whether we will do it or not is lemaisa. There are kulas to do it. So, we haven't decided what we're going to do yet over here. But the woman could lane it from a chumash. So basically, there's 3 ways to be yaitze. Number 1, they go to shul. Number 2 is they could hear it from a chumash. And number 3 is they could hear it on Shabbos, on Purim day. Now, a word about Megillah. I know we're skipping a little bit, but it's in the same Indian. It's very important. What is the reason we lane the Megillah? Why are we laying the Megillah? Pursue Nisa. We're getting up and we're declaring God saved us. Pursue Nisa, by its very nature, is something that's supposed to be done in public. Proof is, you lay Megillah in public, similar to Chanukah. It's fascinating that people miss the whole boat. That the whole reason we're laying Megillah is to publicize. When you publicize, there's something called B'roiv Am Hajas L'Melech. The more people is more glory to the king. And this is actually a halacha always. This is a halacha on every single tefillah in the world. In a perfect world, and a nostalgic world of Gemara, every community, there was one shul. There was no such thing as multiple shuls. You came and you all davened in mass. Why? And the truth is, we can't even understand it. If you ever davened in a shul with 500 people, 1,000 people, it does not compare to having 10 shuls of 50. Okay, listen, we do what we do. There's nothing we can do about that. But we have to understand that davening is not a type of thing. Okay, you get 9.5 people, and I say 9.5 because, usually those minyanim, the 10th guy is somewhere outside, whatever. It's not the right thing to do. And this is something we've spoken about many times. And it's this is the Mishnah Berurah, this is the Shulchan Aruch, this is all the Paiskim. This is the Kedusha of a shul. But on Purim, particularly, the whole creation is Roiv Am, always pursuing Isa. So it's insane that what happens is what? I don't like this shul lanes too fast, this shul lanes too slow. So let me just chop a guy, Pay him $20 to come to my dining room, 25 minutes, chick-chack and be done. I can't say you're not yoytze, but we're sort of missing the boat. Now, of course, I don't want to, anyone who could lane and anyone that lanes for people who are sick and who miss minyanim and have different extenuating circumstances is a gewaldige mitzvah. I don't want to belittle it. But when one is planning, it's like, okay, let me get that quick minyan in that house for 12 minutes. Like, it's not, no one can say it's usher. So, you can't say it's usher. One knows the right thing to do. Certainly not the right thing to do. That's Zachor. That is Tainis Esther. What about Machzah Shekel? So the Shekel Shiloh this year went to do Machzah Shekel. It's really the same Shiloh that happens in Eretz Yisrael every single year. Usually, when do we do Machzah Shekel? Everyone says, I don't know. Whenever I see a bunch of tins on the bima, it's when I do Machzah Shekel. So when is that? It's usually the time of the Megillah, which is Tainis Esther. This year, Tainis Esther is Thursday. Megillah is Motzei Shabbos and Sunday. So when do you do Machzah Shekel? Is a Shtickle Shiloh. Number one. When to do it, the real answer is do whatever you want. That's really the answer, just do something. Now, how do you do it? This is something I personally find fascinating because it's one of those things that it works, like you see how halacha actually works. What do I mean? What I mean is you come over to your tin over here. Here's your tin. Our candies are going to be the Machzah Shekels. What's your Machzah Shekel? Is your machasis, a half a shekel. That's what we do. They take 3 coins, we wrap it together. And then, so they're sitting here. Who owns them in this thing? No one. The Tzedakah owns them. They're hefker. So what do? I take out $1.50. I put it in the thing. I just bought those coins. If I want, can I take those coins and walk home with them? I could. It wouldn't be so nice. Everyone else in shul wants them. So I pick them up. I make a kinyan. Now what do? That's it. You're done. Now you want to give them Machzah Shekel. So you give them. Now let's say you want to do it l'chumra. Always you should do l'chumra for your wife and kids. It's not. You don't have to do for wife and kids. If you're going to do it for your wife and kids, you should do it l'chumra, and you say it's b'li neder, because if you do it, it becomes a neder of a mitzvah, and then you probably have to continue doing it. So you're going to say, what's the big deal? It's $1.50. I hear, but it just means you have to do it. Mirta Shem, someone has a bunch of kids, an extra $10, $20, whatever it is. It's not a big deal. But, so what do you do for each one? You pick it up, and you put it down, and you pick it up, and you put it down. So, well, what am I doing? It's a joke. No, you're not. It's called, you make a kinyan, pick it up. How high do you have to pick it up? You pick a hagbah, something, you pick it up, and then you put it down. There are some that have the minhag to say Zecher l'machasis hashekel. Some have such a minhag, and that is a machsis hashekel. We're basically out of time. We've sort of covered all the pre-Purim things. Next week, which will be 2 days before Tainis Esther, we're going to discuss more of the actual Purim, which is Megillah and the Suda. Just one word about Matanas Levyonim. One word is that Matanas Levyonim, Mishlach Manais, the beer bone obligation, I think we all know, Matanas Avyoinim is one gift to 2 people. Mishlach Manas is 2 gifts to 1 people. So just 2 words about that. Number 1, Mishlach Manas, the whole 2 bracha thing is a myth. Doesn't exist. There's no such thing as 2 brachas. It's 2 minim, 2 items. What are 2 items? For example, if I want to give you a bottle of seltzer and a thing of sour lips, that's the most gewaltig of Mishlach Manas in the world. Behid derav, 2 shekels, but it's 2 foods. It's 2 foods. It's amazing. You just made my day. You just gave me the 2 things I use every single day of my life. Okay, so maybe someone want to say, okay, give me a flavored sense, be machmer, give you a bottle of Coke. Okay, no. But the point is, it's not 2 brachas, it's 2 minim. But you should know, people make this mistake the other way. If someone wants to give out a bagel and cream cheese. Bagel and cream cheese very often might not work, because the bagel and the cream cheese is not 2 items. It's one thing. So I don't think anyone has this problem, because I think everyone gives plenty more than 2 things. But it's just something to know. That's number 1. Number 2 is, Matanas Avyonim is 1 gift to 2 people. How much do you give? We're going to talk about this more next time. But what we should realize is that many people, Baruch Hashem, go out and spend a lot of money on their Mishlach Manas, which, let's be honest, where does it go? It's the next guy. And where does he do with it? Oh, what in the world am I going to do with 4,000 things, right? But you have to do it, right? Or hopefully you don't throw it out. Hopefully you donate it somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sobering up the day after Purim with the most expensive water.
Right, Avada. Right. So what do you do with all these things? But you know what? I'm not saying not to do it, because Lamaisa, definitely women and definitely children get a tremendous hana out of it, and they should. But if someone's going to go and spend X on Mishlach Manas, let's just think about it for a moment. How much should you spend on Matanas Levyonim? They ask, how much am I yaitzi? So we tell them, you're betzim yaitzi with a pruta. A pruta? Yeah, a quarter. Anything more than that, you could give from meiser. Okay, Gavaldiks, I'll be a big machmer. I'm going to give 2 aniyim each $5. Okay, they say to have a full suda. Okay, maybe $10 each ani. $20 for me, $20 for my wife, and I'm good to go. $40. And what do you just spend in Meshach Manas? And what do you just spend in your suda? So there's no halacha that it has to be equal. However, when we understand what we're doing, we think about it from a dot of maturity, from a place of realization that Matanas Levyonim actually is going somewhere special, and the person actually cares about it. So I'm not saying not to do Mishloach Manos, but as we plan, and as all the incredible Mishloach Manos and costumes and parties, etc., at least don't forget Matanas Levyonim. Don't forget the people that this is the time that they get money the whole year. Plenty of Talmidei Chachamim, this is the one time the whole year that they'll accept money, that they'll get money, and they live on this. They mamish live on this. Obviously, I don't say I have a niyam. There's enough aniyam to go around. So it's looking for a shliach. We'll talk about it further. Obviously, we can do it. That's part A. Next week, we can talk about the actual Meshach Manas in depth. Matanas Avyonim, Mikra Megillah. What do you do when you come late? What do you do when you space out? What do you do when you miss a word? What do you do when you're drunk during Megillah? Why are you drunk during Megillah? It's a different kasha. Okay, that will all be next week. B'siyata Tishmaya.